today. I know that schools heads like yourself work tirelessly to drive strong enrollment. You know, private schools rely strongly on tuition as the primary source of income because tuition is extremely vital to the operating budget, including paying faculty and staff, providing for the facilities, the curriculums, programs, supplies, and so much more at your school. So tuition plays a very critical component of the operating budget. Did you know that during or for the 2020-21 school year that the national average for private school tuition across all grades was approximately $11,000 per year? I am Loie Watkins, and I'm a virtual CFO and accountant. I partner with private independent schools like yours to manage the accounting and financial operations so you thrive, prosper, and fully carry out your mission. As an accountant for over 21 years, I am a firm believer of providing an effective and seamless pay experience you want both for families as well as for your school. So today I want to talk about how online tuition assists the enrollment process. And so one way we're going to talk about or break it down into two areas. One, the benefits for families with online tuition and the benefits for your school. And so first, focusing on families by using an online tuition management systems, schools can provide an easy to use payment solution for parents to pay tuition quickly and efficiently. So I would like to know if you would share in the comments below, what online tuition management system does your school use? Does your school use FACS or Blackball or TADS? I'm familiar and have worked with all of these systems, and they all are great systems to use. I'm sure every school have their personal preference, and these tend to be the most popular online tuition management systems. So I would like to hear from you about which online tuition management system does your school use. And so we first talked about how an online tuition management system provides an easy solution for your families to make payments. The second benefit with an online tuition system for families, they can schedule payments, whether that's semi-annual, quarterly, or through monthly installments. They're also able to choose their payment method, whether it's through an ACH bank withdrawal or by credit card. A third bonus to using an online payment system for families is especially for the financial aid process, which can be a very complex and complicated process. When you utilize an online payment system that syncs with your financial aid process, families can rely on the award details being communicated to them during the enrollment process. And they know the exact balances of what they will have to pay. This really helps them to manage their budget because they're certainly taking on a tremendous commitment with paying tuition. And so by them families knowing how much their balances will be, they're able to balance their cash flow. They're able to schedule payments to make sure that payments are being made on time. And so that's a key benefit for the enrollment process for families through online tuition. And so I would like to also know, is your enrollment and tuition payment process complicated or complex? Or is your school using online tuition management to standardize the enrollment process. And so now we talked about how an online tuition management system benefits families rather. So we will dive into the benefits for schools. And there are three key benefits that online tuition allows for schools. One being the ease of processing payments electronically versus accepting paper checks. Uh, Certainly during this time of the pandemic, we had to switch immediately to processing electronic payments. The pandemic allowed us to see a lot of ways that we can use our processes efficiently, especially in the finance areas. Another benefit for schools with online tuition is that you're able to get funds quickly through automated deposits. And then the third is online tuition helps school to maintain the operating budget by having consistent cash flow, which is key to your operating budget, having consistent cash flow. And then, like for families, a bonus benefit is again with the financial aid process where schools no longer have to manually process financial aid applications and awards, and that this data easily transfers between a variety of modules that you have from the enrollment portals through the tuition portals, and then managing in the financial aid portals. Okay, I see some that have commented. So I remember a time working with an independent school, and it was the first year that I worked with this school, and the re-enrollment process was manual. There were paper contracts and letters mailed out where families had to sign these contracts, send or mail it back, and along with a check to the school office. And this process took about 4 to 6 weeks to manage. And it was mostly due to a waiting period of receiving the contracts as well as the checks, going to the bank to deposit the checks. And to complicate that even further was the financial aid process, where families had to submit tons of paperwork and documents and tax information and financial records. It was just a very complex process when this was processed manually. Well, in the following year or two, the school decided to onboard an online tuition management system that substantially streamlined the process. I was able to manage it down to 2 weeks or maybe even less, with payments being received so much efficiently and quickly. And it was a world of a difference with having an online tuition management system. It pretty much allowed the processes to streamline from that took several weeks to only 1 to a couple of weeks, and as well as eliminating paperwork, causing the process to run much more smoothly, where families were not stressed, the school's budget was not stressed. And so an online tuition management system offers a variety of key benefits for your enrollment process. And so if you do not have an online tuition management, I strongly encourage you to consider implementing that process. It would alleviate so much time for your school. And so as a recap, we talked about the key benefits of how online tuition assists during the enrollment process for both families as well as schools. For the families, it provides an easy to pay solutions where families can schedule payments, they can choose a payment method. It's easier when applying for financial aid. And for the schools, they're able to get funds quickly versus processing paper checks. The schools are able to have more consistent cash flow, and it also helps to streamline the financial aid process as well. And so, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I will be sure to answer them. I'll take a quick look to see if there's any questions that you have. And so, as the private school arena continues to grow and be more competitive, your family certainly desires schools that are more digitized and equipped with online tools, as well as processes that have these families in mind. And so, share these helpful tips on your platforms, whether you're tuning in on Facebook or LinkedIn. If you would share these helpful tips, and let's jumpstart your accounting so you can focus on fulfilling your school's mission.